In the majestic, tightly guarded world of European royalty, where every move is calculated and every word weighed for centuries of meaning, it takes something extraordinary to truly rattle the very core of a monarchy. But what unfolded between Queen Mary of Denmark and King Frederik X, hidden behind palace walls, away from the curious public eye, was nothing short of seismic. A secret so potent, so personal, it would escape the grasp of even the sharpest minds within the Danish court. And yet, it was known only to the man who now wears the crown, King Frederik, and kept away from the woman who once reigned with unshakable certainty, Queen Margrethe II. From the moment Queen Mary, an Australian by birth and heart, stepped into the spotlight as Denmark's future queen, she was met with skepticism, curiosity, and eventually, admiration. Her transformation from commoner to crown princess, and later to queen consort, was not just a fairy tale, it was a test of resilience, cultural adaptation, and unyielding grace. But behind those picture-perfect appearances and graceful royal engagements was a bond, a connection, between Mary and Frederik that no one outside their inner sanctum could fully comprehend. And within that bond, a secret brewed, a revelation that had been nurtured in whispers, buried beneath royal duty, and guarded by the love of a king. It is often said that kings rule with strategy, while queens rule with heart. But when the two fuse, when love and loyalty intertwine at the highest level of royal power, empires can be protected or shaken. In this time, the secret in question didn't concern war or politics or the mechanics of governance. It was deeply human, profoundly emotional, and shockingly well hidden. King Frederik, a man long misunderstood by tabloids and underestimated by some in royal circles, had always been known for his quiet strength and quiet defiance. From his youthful rebellion and adventurous past, to his struggle for identity under the shadow of Queen Margrethe's towering legacy, he has rarely shown the world the full depth of his emotional world. But when it came to Mary, he revealed something few ever expected: vulnerability. As Mary navigated the transition from a Sydney career woman to a crown princess, there were battles few could see. Behind the grandeur of tiaras and ballrooms, behind the elegant gowns and diplomatic smiles, there were cultural pressures, personal sacrifices, and a loneliness that only Frederik could truly witness. And he did more than just witness, he felt it. He absorbed it, and over time, he became the keeper of a truth Mary could not share with anyone else, that she felt like an outsider long after the world thought she had become one of them. This was the secret. It wasn't scandalous in the traditional sense. It was far more dangerous. It was emotional, because in a monarchy built on lineage, tradition, and public image, to reveal that the queen consort herself often felt alienated, lost in a system that never fully accepted her, would be tantamount to shaking the very confidence of the Danish people in their royal family. Queen Margrethe, for all her brilliance and historical wisdom, never saw it coming. She saw a polished, prepared Mary, an image crafted to perfection, as is demanded by royal protocol. But what she didn't see was the subtle emotional labor Mary bore, the internal war between maintaining her identity and blending seamlessly into a 1,000-year-old institution. King Frederik knew, and he protected her, not by confronting his mother directly or by sparking a public showdown, but by doing something even more profound, by standing beside Mary in quiet solidarity. By giving her the space to be vulnerable behind closed doors. By validating her fears, her sacrifices, and the cultural tension she could never name out loud. That kind of loyalty, emotional, personal, and invisible to the public, is a rare form of royalty. Frederik's choice to shield Mary's inner world was not an act of secrecy against his mother, it was an act of love. And in that decision lay a quiet rebellion, one that only the deeply devoted can understand. He chose to preserve Mary's dignity while preserving the monarchy's stability. The two were not always aligned, but he walked that razor-thin line with unmatched loyalty. As Queen Margrethe prepared for her historic abdication, a move that surprised the world and elevated Frederik and Mary to the throne, she passed the torch believing that the future of the monarchy rested on unbreakable ground. And in many ways, it did. Because Frederik had done the unthinkable, he had protected the institution by protecting the woman beside him. Mary, now Queen of Denmark, reigns not just as a consort but as a symbol of modernity, multiculturalism, and silent strength. She embodies the challenges and triumphs of a world where monarchy must evolve or fade. And that evolution started the moment King Frederik chose to keep a secret, not from malice, but from mercy. There were moments, small, fleeting ones, when Queen Margrethe may have sensed it. A look in Mary's eyes during state dinners. A pause in conversation during public outings. But in her fierce commitment to royal continuity, she may have brushed it aside. Not out of cruelty, but from a belief that Mary had fully embraced the crown with no remnants of doubt. In truth, Mary had done exactly that, but only because Frederik had made space for both her courage and her fragility. The irony of monarchy is that the most powerful things are often the least seen. It is not always in the grand ceremonies or public proclamations that legacies are built, but in the silent acts of empathy and protection. King Frederik's decision to carry Mary's hidden burden, to know her emotional truth and shield it from the consuming glare of royal scrutiny, is what now defines his reign. It is not only the weight of the crown he bears, but the sacred trust of his queen's heart. Their story, anchored in love, resilience, and the dignity of shared secrets, will be studied and admired for generations. Because it reminds us that behind the royal gold and public appearances lies something far more human, the silent, sacred language between two people who understand each other in a world that often never will. And now, as Queen Mary takes her place beside her husband, not just as a symbol of Danish royalty but as a woman whose journey was shaped by love, silence, and inner strength, the world sees a new kind of queen. One who ruled long before she ever wore a crown. What do you think this powerful royal secret says about the future of monarchy in the modern world? Don't forget to like, share, comment your thoughts, and subscribe for more gripping royal stories that go beyond the headlines.